Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we're putting the three beefy combat boys up against each other. These are the top three combat tier 3s. Captain America on the left, Namor on the right, and the newest entrant, Apocalypse, in the middle. They've all got CTPs of Rage. They've all got fairly balanced builds. They've all got mythic uniforms. That's right, I mythicked Apocalypse's uniform tonight. So, with that being said, let's jump into the first of two comparisons against Thanos World Boss Ultimate. So we're going to be going with the exact same stage fights. It's a stage 30 Thanos. We're using Anti-Man's leadership for 45% all attack, and then we are using Valkyrie as the single support. And we're doing this so that we can get a very similar comparison between these three here. We don't want to use, or we don't want to fight, in this case, Corvus, because he has higher energy defense, and then we don't want to fight Proxima because she also has higher energy defense, which makes it worse for Apocalypse, because for Captain America and Namor, they have physical attack, but for Apocalypse, he has energy. So we have to fight a boss that is equal, and in this case, Thanos is equal, and we're just going to see how long it takes to get down to 11 bars for each of them. Stage 30 is not particularly hard. We're not using strikers. We don't want to see that kind of action. We want to see their raw damage output, and we want to see their survivability and the gameplay style using this CTP of Rage setup. So Captain America is probably going to be the slowest, in my opinion, just based on the way that he plays and the how things are going right now for him. But we'll have to see. It's also harder for Cap because of his tier 3 skill. But if you can get it to fly properly, he can get it. So there you go. 1 minute and 10 seconds for Captain America against Thanos. Not bad at all. Next up, we got Namor. And like Captain America, Namor doesn't have a self-buffing leadership. But like Cap, Namor claps. He's got huge, hard-hitting damage abilities. And we just want to make sure that we don't get snared. That's really the one big. And of course, as I say that, I get snared. But that's okay, because we can still just power through this and save his tier 3 skill. We definitely want to save it because it's going to do a ton of damage when we hit him in just a second here. But we first want to sort of work our way up to this skill and then pop it. He does have debuff. He does have cleanse on his tier 3 skill. So if you do get debuffed when that's active, or you can just pop that tier 3 skill, it's really nice for that. So there we go. We're on to the next phase here. Just a cheeky little fourth skill. With a lot of Thanos' sort of phase changes, you can sneak in a little bit of damage. Not really damage. You can sneak in a few skills to charge up those tier 3s faster so that you can line them up for the next one. And here we go. We line this up, and baby does the damage. A little bit slower than Cap, which is honestly a surprise to me, but not much slower at all. So it's 1 minute and what was that, 12 seconds? Yeah, 1 minute and 12 seconds, almost identical to Captain America. Last but not least, we got Apocalypse against Thanos here, and Apocalypse, he's not going to do very well in the second half of this fight against Thanos because of the fact that he doesn't have, well, he can't debuff. So we're really trying to highlight this first half, this first 9 bars of the fight. Like Captain America's all defense down is not going to apply later on in the fight. We want to highlight what Apocalypse can do right now to Thanos, in addition to lagging the stage. And I actually do think that Apocalypse is at a little bit of a disadvantage, because I do think that the lag, I think you lose some damage when it lags. I don't have proof of that, but yeah, it just, from what I can, if you lose frames, you're gonna lose damage, because those frames have damage data in them, and if they're lost, if they're just being like cut out because the game is lagging so much, that's gonna be lost damage. And I remember back in the day when I used to play on an emulator and it was really laggy, I would lose ABX score all the time, and I would be really frustrated about it. But there's really nothing you can do to fix it if that's the case. We got snared there. But he's definitely slower than I thought. But I think we're going to get it here. Not bad. So that was 1:17 so pretty close, but a little bit further behind. Next up, we're going to test these boys against the big purple Master Mold. Now, this is combat day, so we don't have the type disadvantage, but we also don't have the type advantage. But that's fine. We get to see their damage output as well. Here, I expect Namor to do a little bit better than the rest because his damage does not rely on any kind of defense down, whereas Captain America has the all defense down, of course, and then Apocalypse has the mind defense, or the mind resistance down. Now, for those of you wondering, I've got two friends from my Discord and from my from the Twitch, from the YouTube, two fans here helping me out. Shout out to I Don't Actually Know and Adam Valor Black for, oh, I just missed my proc, whoops, for helping me out with this. Let's just pop this right now and see how much damage this does. They're not doing any damage, guys. They're just running around looking pretty. All right, bit of a mistake on my part for Namor, but he's still killing it. He's still crushing it. We're gonna get the first phase down here in just over a minute. We're a little bit short because of a mistake I made. We're gonna pop the 4 anyways, just building up that tier 3 skill. Any moments where you can just build up that tier 3 skill, you want to take those moments. You want to cash those moments in. There we go, tier 3. Tier 3 with 2 seconds left on the rage proc, so that on the second swipe, he usually triggers it again. And then bada bing, bada boom, you get another 3, 4. And then the proc expires, then you go back into 3. Hopefully you proc there, go into 5. It's a nice, smooth little rotation. His tier 3 doesn't charge up that fast, so you do have to wait in between. But we're going to get it again here. And we're going to... And it also has iframe ignore. So even if Master Mold jumps up into the air, it don't matter. Which I think he just tried to do. There you go. And he still gets slapped. So, unfortunately, we didn't kill him fast enough to avoid these Sentinels from coming out. But on the plus side here, we get to do lots of damage right now. There we go. Yeah. What's up, buddy? Nice. I think we can almost... Can we finish him here? I think we can finish him here. Even though he's... Yeah. Goodbye, buddy. There we go. 7:37 was the time. So that is 2 minutes and 23 seconds. 2:23 for Namor. And then we got some boost pointed rewards. No CTP of energy. Let's go on to the next one. He forgot. He forgot that it was 3 clears. He thought it was just 1. Now he's talking shit. That's mad funny. Next up, we got Captain of America coming in slow and fast. Slow and fast. You know what I mean. He's coming in on your left, and he's going to do damage here. I imagine he's going to be slower than Namor, primarily because the all defense down is not going to work. Secondarily, because the tier 3 skill. Cap really gets a lot of his damage from both the 4th skill having all defense down, and then also the fact that his tier 3 skill has accumulation. So not having either of those things, I think, is really going to hurt his time. And he's probably going to be the slowest because of that, I would guess. But he does have super high base stats, so I don't know. Maybe Cap is better than I thought. Maybe I can get super lucky with some accumulation here from Master Mold if he does like a stomp or something like that. Maybe I can get some beam action. It doesn't seem like I'm getting hit, but let's see. Oh yeah, you know what? Never mind. We're good. Never mind. Cap doesn't need any help. Cap was like 2 seconds faster than Namor. We're building up the tier 3 skill there. I think this phase actually. That's what I think. That's what I think I was thinking. This phase is a lot harder to trigger your tier 3 skill on unless he stomps you. Yeah, when I said stomp, that's when I knew. Big stomps. You guys remember that Goliath video from way back? You need big stomps here. We need him to swipe at us. There we go. Actually, that's perfect. Yes, perfect. Wow, this might be like the most perfect Captain America Master Mold run of all time. Captain America fans are super jealous right now that I actually got that stomp to land. And the tier 3 skill was probably about to expire too. Because if you guys don't know, there's like an expiry on the tier 3 skill. You can use the tier 3 skill when he's doing that. But yeah, we also didn't skip this part of the fight, which is also kind of a bummer, but that's okay. Want to see if he's gonna stop us here. Stop me. Yes! Yes! This is perfect. Wow, so this is like best case scenario Captain America. This is definitely not what you should expect to happen every time. But this is damn good. Wow, this is probably one of the luckiest scenarios for Captain America. Because without that, without the accumulation, his tier 3 skill does like nothing, as you can see. It like barely does a bar. I mean, his 4th skill does more damage with just the rage proc. But sitting around waiting to get that accumulation is not going to work. It's not going to work. So there you go. 7 minutes, 10 seconds, which is a 2 minute and 50-second clear for Captain America. That's honestly what I was expecting. He was definitely going to be slower than Namor. Decent rewards. Let's go on to the next one. He forgot again. Oh my god. This guy. Third up, we've got Apocalypse with, you know, the same sort of situation as Captain America. But let's see if there's something else about Apocalypse that makes him possibly better. I think, you know what? Apocalypse has larger, well, I was about to say has more AoE, but then one of these guys got away from me. But yeah, Apocalypse does have more AoE. So I think that's going to help get through this phase maybe a little bit faster. But actually, no, because his first skill just roots him there, and he's actually really slow. It's kind of funny how certain things work out. Okay, we had somebody crash already, which is gonna influence the results a tiny bit here, because I think the character's gonna go and start doing damage. But don't worry, guys, it's not a lot of damage. It's Wasp, so you can see the damage is it's manageable. It's manageable. We can track that damage, guys. We have the numbers. We're getting stuck in these long iframes waiting for Apocalypse to finish. He's gonna crash the game here. Nice, good job. But it's really cool to throw a meteor into Master Mold's face, I have to say. That is really satisfying. It looks like it's going right into his face when you cast the tier 3 skill. So I actually really like that. And he's a little bit behind, yeah, but I think because of all those iframes, us hanging around, he's like 20 seconds behind right now, which is pretty bad. But let's see how he does here. Let's pop this, let's pop this, let's pop the tier 3 skill, throw it right in his face. I love that, I love that. That's really satisfying. Okay, cancel the 5 when he goes into iframe, yeah. Not getting the mind resist down, but that's okay. Okay, nice, there we go. Bada bing, bada boom, nice. He's catching up, he's catching up. He's definitely catching up to Namor, and I think we're gonna skip that phase where he summons the clones. Oh, never mind. We never skip that phase. We never skip the clone phase. Okay, so he's definitely not gonna catch up to Namor. Is he going to beat Captain America, though? That's the question that we have to try to answer. Let's see here. Oh, this is gonna be close. Someone got mind controlled. Please don't hurt me if you're mind controlled. No, we're not gonna make this one either. Nope. Okay. Yeah. Let's see if we can finish it here. Yeah, the tier 3 just doesn't do that much damage, eh? It's like Thor level damage. Wow, so that was almost 3 full minutes. 2 minutes and 56 seconds from Apocalypse. That is a lot of time. And no CTP. We were absolutely robbed. So big shout out to Hojojo and Adam Valor Black for playing with me. That is the comparison based on those small parameters. However, we can go in a little bit further now and we can see a bit more information. I'm trying to think about what I can show you guys to sort of illustrate. If we go over to World Boss level info, how can we see challenge records? Here we go. We can see that my highest clear was with Negasonic? Really? Okay, that's... Well, we weren't going to play Cull Obsidian with these guys anyways. Okay, that's my fastest clear with... on Ebony. What about Namor? No, none of them are anywhere here. Okay, Namor is there for Corvus. What about here? Cyclops? This is my highest score. This is not necessarily the highest stage. Like, I didn't go to stage 49 with Cyclops. This is such weird information. This information is not helpful at all. Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, I think what this shows is that the characters have different strengths and weaknesses. It is really hard to compare these characters because, like I said, 2 of them deal physical damage, 1 of them deals energy damage, so that really skews things because I would love to throw them all up against Proxima, but Apocalypse is going to have a huge penalty. And then I'd love to throw them all against like Ebony, but then Captain America and Namor are going to have penalties. So it really fucks things up. Like, I really can't throw them up against anyone. If I throw them up against Cull Obsidian, Namor and Cap have disadvantages, and Apocalypse doesn't. So yeah, maybe when I can get to a high enough stage of Apocalypse or a high enough stage of Quicksilver, then maybe that would be a good example. But then you also have Ignore Dodge, where Apocalypse has 50% Ignore Dodge as a passive ability. Namor and Captain America have 0% Ignore Dodge. So it's really hard to find a World Boss Ultimate stage that's equalized for all of them the same, that doesn't have higher physical defense or higher energy defense or elemental damage, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, it seems like from the test that Namor is the fastest and sort of like the strongest, and then it's a sort of a weird tie between Captain America and Apocalypse. But I don't think that is the case. But I could be wrong. I think Namor might have the highest base damage because he doesn't rely on any kind of all defense down. So that's definitely why he was faster against Master Mold, and he'll probably be a lot faster against Galactus as well because it's just raw damage out the gate. But I think Apocalypse can go very, very high because he doesn't have all defense down, but he has mind resistance down. So you combo mind resistance down with all defense down with elemental damage, and that's just like a crazy buff. So Apocalypse might be able to go the highest or the furthest in certain world boss stages, like, let's say, 99 Ebony, whereas Namor and Captain America might be able to go into 99 Proxima, but they're going to have to rely on specific strikers to drop that all defense down first, and if it doesn't line up perfectly, then they might struggle, whereas Apocalypse might be a little bit more consistent. But I think they're all 3 really great Tier 3 characters for PvE. Some of them might be a little... I think Namor might edge out the other 2, especially when you consider GBR, but then when it comes to PvP... I think it's a clear winner that Apocalypse is the best for PvP, especially with a Rage CTP. He's the only one that can compete in PvP. Namor can't do anything in PvP. He can do very little with a CTP of Regen, and he can do nothing with a Rage. Same thing goes for Cap. He can do some work. He's okay with a pure PvP build, but with a CTP of Rage or a PvE build, Energy or something like that, he can't do anything. So yeah. Overall, I think it's kind of a toss-up between Apocalypse and Namor, but Captain America is the cheapest and the easiest to get to Tier 3. So interesting that he's not that far behind given his cost. But then if you consider the cost, you might say Namor is just straight up better than Apocalypse because he's half the cost. And he's as good or better for PvE, and he just loses in PvP. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. It's a very difficult, very complex comparison. I tried to show you guys some action in different sorts of PvE scenarios. We could do the PvP thing, but I think it's going to be very painfully obvious that Apocalypse is head and shoulders above the other 2, just like he stands head and shoulders above them in the game, considering his height. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.